Okay, well, that's that. Realize how deep the conspiracy really goes. Like a three-way, four-way kind of deal here between the Sonozakis, the police, the secret entity, and the kids. Jesus Christ. I finished talking with Oishi on the phone and soon left the phone booth. I realized something, and a chill ran through my body. I was in a phone booth that stood out tremendously in the dark. Somebody must have seen me. I was certain. I was being watched. I saw glowing eyes staring at me in the dark. He wasn't human. Was it an illusion? No. I knew who they were. They were the ones controlling the three families who ruled Hinamizawa. Its eye level was too low for it to be human, and its outline was vague. I knew from the past records that they were physically frail. The silhouette, which indicated its inhuman appearance, was unbelievably unrealistic. Especially its protruding head. One of the scrapbooks I received from Miyo-san described their appearance in detail. Their eyeballs were pure red, like blood, and their bodies smelled like ammonia. Even though some of them have at times been captured around the world, all of them melted or disappeared, leaving no trace behind. What? The only traces remaining are the marks proving their descent to Earth. Right then, the impossible realistic silhouette took a step closer, and got closer and closer towards me, making a realistic noise as it crunched across the gravel. Realistic noise as it crunched across the gravel? Protruding head? Eye level was too low for it to be doing. Are you sure that's not a car? Glowing eyes? Like, are those glowing eyes like not the lights from the car? And a car is coming towards you? The noise pulled me back to reality. He kept walking towards me. It sounded like he was kicking pebbles everywhere as he walked. It was coming closer and closer. I was scared, so I said the same thing once again. And this time, the glass door of the phone booth I was just in started to rattle and shake. Bang! It made weird sounds as if being struck by something. Okay, it's official. I think that at this point Rena is being completely delusional. It's happening. Demons in her mind are gonna start attacking her. I screamed loudly in fear and started running. I ran so hard that it felt like my lungs were about to explode. And then, I looked back to find that the thing was no longer chasing after me. Was it my imagination? There's no way it was just my imagination. I definitely heard the sound of the gravel being kicked and the phone booth rattling. But I needed to calm down. Right then, I needed to make my heart stop beating so fast. I have to fight them eventually. The next time they appeared, I was going to strike back at them. I was going to squash their heads with my big hatchet. Oh boy. I protected them all. It was my duty to do so. I wouldn't allow them to do whatever they wanted. I saw the lights flickering in my head again. Oh boy. Alright, let's see where this is gonna lead us. I'm not liking this. Even if I turn on the light on my hideout, nobody would see it because of the piles of abandoned cars in the way. While I am aware of that, I decided not to turn it on, just in case. It's a bit scary to hide in this quiet place, alone in the dark, holding my breath. I have to keep myself busy with something. But my brain won't work properly, and I don't even have the energy to think about what to do from now on. However, I don't have the courage to lie down to sleep and regain my strength, either. Every time I heard or thought I heard a suspicious sound, I'd gasp and stare into the dark. That's all I did all night. Oishi believes that the Sonozaki family was behind the conspiracy. But he can't do much without solid evidence. For that, he has to locate the facility where they are doing research on the parasite. But I have no idea where it is. I think the A.k.a. clinic is still the most likely site, but I have no credible evidence. Really, I don't think they do their research in a place so obvious, even if I could guess it. They might be using one of the bomb shelters that was built during the war as some kind of secret underground research center. That could be it. Now that I come to think about it, I remember a secret building nobody is allowed into on the premises of the Furuta Shrine. I think it's called the Ritual Storehouse. According to Mio-san's research, the Furuta Shrine is the center of the local worship of Yashiro-sama. The priest keeps the tools for ceremonies in the Ritual Storehouse. One of the ceremonies is the bizarre festival, Watanagashi, and so the shrine storage must be something very sacred. If I remember right, Watanagashi was also a medical ritual designed to vaccinate and immunize people against the all-too-strong parasite. Medical ritual? That means the tools they used for Watanagashi were medical ones. If my guess is right, the ritual storehouse is the most sacred place in the village, as well as the most appropriate building to use for medical purposes. It's suspicious. There might be a secret research center in the ritual storehouse. Ah, damn it. The police should be performing a raid on the ritual storehouse, not the Ariakey clinic. I would say the opposite, but I'm actually curious about Rena going into the ritual storehouse to begin with because of Oyashiro. Maybe we could meet them there. Why didn't I think of that when I was talking with Oishi on the phone earlier? I hope Oishi realizes this too. Should I go back to the phone booth and tell him about the ritual storehouse? But when I thought that, I heard a car coming closer. I held my breath. It's not normal for a car to come here this late at night. I thought about many possible scary scenarios, which made me nervous. After a while, I saw the headlights of the car near the former dam construction office. The car must have passed by me and gone to the office. But it's a deserted, empty office building. There's nothing there. It's not a place where people would visit this late at night. While I was staring into the dark, the engine of the car stopped, and its headlights were turned off. I could see two flashlights flickering in the darkness. The lights moved into the office building. They must think I'm hiding there. I held my breath and kept watch on their movements. I can't tell who they are, but I bet they're pawns of the Sonzaki family. They know that I ran away from home. They must be looking for me everywhere in the village. Though I needed to conceal my breath, my face started feeling itchy, and I had an urge to stretch my legs. My own body infuriated me. The humidity made me sweat all over, so the back of my knees and my neck had been itchy for quite a while. Scratching would make an unbelievably loud noise, so I decided not to scratch anymore. It usually doesn't make any noise when I just scratch some mosquito bites. I'm probably just being nervous and overreacting. There's quite a distance between me and them, and I'm in the dark, holding my breath. They wouldn't notice it, even if I sneezed, let alone scratch myself. But I didn't want to make any noise at all, so I tried to forget this itchiness. But after all that, I ended up scratching everywhere like mad. I have to live in hiding like this for a while. I don't know how long I can go on when I'm so nervous on just the first night. I needed to toughen up more so I can remain placid, even in a situation like this. I forced myself to relax, scratch my neck without hesitation, and tried to cope with the sticky sweat all over my body. I started getting hungry. My stomach growled. That's a good sign, since it means I'm starting to relax. I can't eat yet though. It would make a lot of noise. I decided to wait until they finished looking for me and went away. Go away. Go away. I can eat if you go away. It seemed like the intentions I was sending on bore fruit. They had stopped looking around the building. However, I must have concentrated my thoughts too strongly. They were pointing their flashlights in my direction. Uh-oh. Did they notice me? No. Not only that, they were walking towards me. I made my body as small as possible, hid under the blanket, and listened for their footsteps as carefully as I could. All the while, I heard their footsteps coming closer and closer. Since the footsteps are coming straight towards me, they must already know where I am, I think. It's scary. But there's no way they already know where I am. If they did, they wouldn't have wasted their time looking for me around the office building. And they wouldn't walk as slowly as they did. It's just a coincidence that they're walking in this direction. Since I'm hiding under the blanket, I can't see who they are. I don't know where they are shining their flashlights, so I can't stick my head out from the window to see who they are either. I just have to stay motionless like a rock until I sense they're gone. They stopped when they came near my hideout. I could hear their conversation.
いねえだろ。ぐるっと回ってみるが、そっちを見てくれ。
I could tell by the sound of their footsteps that they went separate ways, and that each of them is walking around the piles of trash separately. I made this hideout out of an abandoned car. I just redecorated it. So on the outside, it still looks like nothing other than an abandoned car. But once you look inside, you can instantly tell it's more than that. So, if they look inside, I'm done for. It's obvious that they are looking for me. Are they a Sonozaki Corps attack unit? It says right there that they're a bunch of Sonozaki gangsters, so I guess we know that. Not that they are a part of any attack unit or anything like that, but if they find me, I'll be killed for sure. I know all too well that this place is perfect for murdering people. I killed 2 people here myself. If I can do it, it'll be no problem for them, because they are real professional killers. Even so, there's nothing I can do right now. I just have to pray that they'll leave here soon. At the time, I heard a slight beeping sound.
アツシです。感度良好。はい。ゴグラ？はい。了解です。どうした？リュウグウレナはゴグラらしい。目撃情報があったそうだ。おいおい、お手上げだぜ。どうするんだよ。とにかく是が非でも、ひっ捕まえて連れてこいって旦那の命令だ。
Bring her to him? I assume to Kasai.
たとえ行ったのが札幌だろうと博多だろうと追っかけるしかねえだろ。無理だぜ。見つかるわけねえ。それでも探さなきゃなんねえのか。旦那はリュウグウレナの持つ高野美代のスクラップ帳ってのを欲しがってる。
Oh shit!
あんだけの剣幕になるんだから相当のもんだろうぜ。で、俺たちはどうするんだよ。竜宮家前に貼り付けだけ残して他は引き上げだそうだ。戻って麦茶でも飲もうぜ。
I heard their footsteps going further, and then I didn't hear them anymore. After a while, I heard the engine of their car starting. What the fuck? So the Sonozakis do have something to do with the scrapbooks too? I finally got out from under the blanket and looked outside the window. The car made a U-turn and drove away. The sound of the engine faded away into the darkness. I heaved a sigh of relief. I scratched at all my itchy mosquito bites, wiped the sticky sweat on my face and neck, and finally allowed myself to cough. I'd heard their conversation clearly. They are the pawns of the Sonozaki Corps, without a doubt. It matches with what Oishi said. And they said something very important. They clearly said that they are after the scrapbooks. Up until now, I'd only assumed that they were chasing after me because I had Mio-san's scrapbooks. I could have forced myself to believe that it was just my assumption. But they said it loud and clear. Yeah, that's the wildest part of this. The Sonosakis? We need to find her in Ryugu. She has Mio Takano's scrapbooks. That's what they said. They also said they're keeping watch on my house. I'm not surprised. That's exactly what I would do if I were them. I can't go back to my house anymore. It's out of the question. But, in fact, they said something way more important than any of that. They said Rena Ryugu was seen in Gogura. Yeah, like what the fuck is the deal with that? If I was in a normal situation, I'd probably think that somebody saw a look-alike, and I'd laugh out loud. But the situation is different now. Mio-san was dead, but she was at this festival. I'm here, but I was in Gogura. Mio-san wrote about it in her scrapbooks, and I didn't want to believe it. They're coming closer to me. And I don't mean the Sonozaki family. Something beyond common sense is about to happen. Should I fight or should I run? I don't even know what I should do. I feel like I'm rooted to the spot with fear. Am I about to be eaten? Again, like what the fuck are you eating? Like what? Cause okay, Takano's situation, fake body. She faked her death. This? Cloning? Again, are you saying that the secret entity is doing cloning research? Like, No. I want to be eaten alive. I want to run away if I can't win. If I can't run, I want to fight. I'm going to be happy. I know I am. I'm not going to sit pretty and let them get me. But the enemy Mio-san foretold of in the scrapbooks is coming closer to me. And start to eat me up. I'm in the garbage dump, alone. If I disappeared right now without anybody knowing it, the person who was in Gogura would replace me and start living my life. Nobody would notice the change. What? What are you talking about, Rena? What did Takano write in her scrapbooks? My father wouldn't notice it. My friends wouldn't notice it. It would replace me without having anyone noticed it. Wait. Many people close to me might have been replaced already. That's right. The Sonovaki family is plotting bioterrorism. But that's only a part of what they are planning. Mice possessed by them don't get scared of cats. As a result, they don't run away. They'll be eaten by the cats. Then they can move into the cats' bodies. Mice are only used by them for that purpose. It's not that they lose their fear of cats in order to help them achieve their purpose. It would replace me without having anyone noticed it? Are you talking about Tim Curry? They think they're doing things by their own will, but they're just helping them without realizing it. That's exactly how they've lived since long ago, being the parasite. We're nothing but a bunch of mice to them. Most mice are stupid. They don't even notice their existence. They help them to achieve their purpose, thinking they're living their lives by their own will. But very rarely, a mouse with wits is born. This mouse notices that he's been used, and he also notices their existence. But nobody believes him, so it's not a big deal. He starts thinking that it was his mistake, and he gets sold by them. Eventually, he disappears. But even more rarely, A mouse appears from nowhere, notices their existence, and objectively proves it. That mouse. Ugh. That mouse was Mio-san. To them, this mouse was a rare and very dangerous existence. That's why they resorted to unbelievably bold and violent methods to try and eliminate that mouse when it appeared. But surprisingly, we knew about those measures. But the stupid mice don't believe it. They don't notice that they are forcing them to not believe it, and that they are helping them in the end. The amount of times that Rena is talking in them and they and it is just unbelievable in the last 2 minutes. Who are these people? They killed Mio-san. And they tried to replace her, but they made a mistake. We found the real corpse of Mio-san. That's why they failed to replace her. They'll try to kill me and replace me too. Or they'll replace my friends in order to get close to me. Oh boy. Well, by that logic, Rena can literally trust no one. They look just like the real people, but they're totally different inside. They are an abnormal existence that's beyond our... Aliens? Is this what you're talking about? 'Cause that's... like, there are stories of aliens just coming to Earth and, you know, taking people and maybe in some cases replacing them. Is that it? That's what Takano has been writing in the books? Like, is this it? Who is replacing who? I know, they'll appear. No, they're already here. It appeared the day after Mio-san died. And it appeared in Gogura tonight. They'll keep coming. They're openly after me now. They'll keep coming. They'll keep coming. Right then, I heard somebody coming down the slope. I concealed my presence again, and I looked at the direction where the footsteps were coming from. I could see one flashlight. It looked like there was only one person now. Who is it? This late at night. Its shadow is very small. I can tell it isn't an adult. I felt a chill running through my body. It shined the flashlight towards my hideout, and its footsteps were coming straight towards me. It's different from the other guys earlier. I can tell by the sound of the footsteps that it knows I'm hiding here for sure. No, it must be just a coincidence. I should just conceal myself again. I can make it through this again. I made it through last time. I need to hide. I need to hide. I pulled the blanket over myself, made myself as small as possible, and kept telling myself that I was a stone. But the footsteps kept coming closer and closer. And it knocked on the door of my hideout. I opened my eyes wide. I broke out in a nervous sweat. Not wanting to believe that the sound I heard was a knock. My mind went completely blank. Okay. Is it one of the kids? But it knocked on the door again. I could feel a light shining on the blanket. It might be shining the flashlight on me. But I still held back my fear. As long as I don't move, it can't put a finger on me. I kept telling myself that as if I was casting a spell. I tried not to shake in fear. It left. It has laughed at me because I thought I was still hiding perfectly. But I still tried. Because if I got out of the blanket... Oh, great. It's you. Of course you would know that Rena is here, hiding. I threw off the blanket and saw the owner of the voice. It is Rika-chan. Hi, Bern. Quite a lovely night. Oh boy. Yeah. Go figure that in this night of total chaos for Rena, the most chaotic night, like, in her life, in Rena's life, the weirdest person out of everybody in the world has just shown up in front of her. And it's her. Now, why is she here? Why did she come here to see me? I don't understand why she came all the way here alone this late at night. I realize also, she looks just like Rika-chan on the outside, but she's not her. It is just copying her appearance. Oh my god. And you know what? Like, in accordance to whatever the fuck you're thinking of, like, if I were in your shoes, I would totally believe it. Rika, she's definitely not Rika right now. Witches! Takano was a believer in witches! Of course! Okay, so... are we talking about interdimensional witches that are populating Earth and are replacing the humans? So now we have witches roaming around in human disguises? Yeah. Is this story truly gonna lead to Yumineko? Really? I always thought it was a separate story unrelated to Yumineko, you know, besides Ben Castell right over here. I just he came to Mio-san, to me, and to Rika-chan. Maybe my theory that Takano would eventually be interested in Rokenjima after this may be coming true. I don't. I'm just gonna shut up. I decided to talk aggressively on purpose in order to work up courage before my fear crushed me down.
Rika-chan, kana? Me. 他の誰に見えるのですか?
Okay. It answers just like the Rika-chan I know. But I know it's not Rika-chan. Rika-chan wouldn't come to a place like this so late at night.
わかるよ。リカちゃんじゃないんでしょ。おあいにくだけど、私の目はごまかせないよ。外見がリカちゃんであっても、あんたはリカちゃんじゃない。私の友達のフルでリカじゃない。何者。
Rika looked stunned for a while. She looked as if she didn't understand what I was talking about. But she pretended like that for too long. If she really didn't know what I was talking about, she wouldn't be able to stand the silence for this long. But she kept quiet. And she finally showed her true character. It laughed. It laughed at me because I figured out something that was almost impossible to figure out. That it was not Rika. I mean, it kinda depends on what Arena found in her scrapbooks, like the true nature of this Ben Castell, whether it's the same kind of nature as the one in Yumineko or a completely different kind of nature in this that we still haven't explored yet or something. A demon? Maybe? Truly a demon? Or, you know, it's like it could very well be that Rika has been so used to all these timelines, like reliving these moments like over and over again, as we've seen so far from what she said, to a point where, of course, a little girl like that would completely change into something that we cannot even comprehend, living for so long. I don't know, best example I can offer is like Groundhog Day or Edge of Tomorrow, All You Need Is Kill, that sort of stuff. A human will completely change, and to the point where you wouldn't even recognize the new person, aka this Ben Castell. So, it's...
あんた、誰?
It didn't answer my question. It kept laughing for a while. And then, it looked straight into my eyes in a way Eureka-chan never did before. And it said this.
私もこの世に生きて長いけど、私を理科じゃないと見破ったやつは初めてよ。あなたは勘がいい人だと初対面から思ってたけど、大したものね。
Really? The first one? Who penetrated your disguise? Like ever? Ever, ever, ever? This is a first for you? She clearly spoke to me the things that I was most afraid of. I was completely shocked. It's like she told me everything that could possibly scare me. Like, this is an interesting moment right over here. On one hand, I'm here trying to figure out, like, Ben Castell's true nature in this story. Learn more about Ben Castell here. And what happened to Rika for her to have achieved such a state. On the other hand, I'm trying to learn what Rena has learned from those scrapbooks to talk about these its and thems and all that I'm not aware of. Cause from what Rena is talking about, it sounds like something beyond, like secret entity governments of spies and humans working for the government, or I mean, of course we could talk about demons, but feels like there's something weird over here that I'm trying to determine. And third of all, like trying to connect whether what Rena is thinking is actually true about Ben Castell's true nature, or what Rena is thinking that is Rika's true nature has nothing to do with Ben Castell's true nature. Like, this is surely gonna be something. I didn't want to hear any of this. It's something I can't possibly twist in a way I can't comprehend. Yeah, me neither.
でもあえてリカだと名乗っておくわ。私もリカを自分の呼び名だと思ってかなり長いしね。
へえ。長いってどれくらいに?
That's a good question. How long have you lived like this?
大したことはないわ。ほんの100年程度よ。
100 years as in, you know, metaphorically speaking? Because, you know, there are some situations where, say, 1,000 years can be seen as something more metaphorical. Like 1,000 years can be the equivalent of 6 years for some witches and all that. Or are you saying that you truly lived 100 years? 100 human years. 100 times 364 days.
はあ? 何を言ってんのあんた?
I'm contradicting myself. I know the person who's standing in front of me isn't Rika, but at the same time, I deny its existence. As long as humans hold this kind of emotion, they can never accept unknown existences. Because if we are to take this like literally, Like, what would be 100 times 364 days or so? Let's see. Calculator, don't fail me now. 100 times 364 or something like that. What would it be? 36,400 days. That's a lot of timelines. Now the thing is, if we're talking about a Rika / Ben Castell who has lived through many timelines, we don't know when this timeline starts and where it ends. I mean, we can kind of throw like a ball and say that the timeline ends when the chaos ends, like as we've seen in like each chapter. But it's not always exact, like in similar fashion to Groundhog Day and all you need is kill. Like, there is a start and there is an end to the timelines. In All You Need Is Kill, it always starts at the exact same point and it ends when you die. So it kind of varies there too, but here we don't know that. Now granted, if I am to think about like these chapters that we've seen, it could be like weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the days before Watanagashi and the days after. So minimum a week, 7 days. Like, let's say that it's 7 days. If I were to divide this by 7, that would be 5,200 timelines. In other words, we can never accept them.
怯えなくていいわ。あなたは社内。私は社外。互いに相手に物騒なことをするのは簡単じゃない。お互いに都合のいい距離だと思うけど、私が何百年生きていようとも、フルでリカは所詮小さな子供だもの。
That is true.
あなたに腕力で勝てると思ってないわ。むしろ逆上したあなたに飛びかかられないか不安なのはこっちの方なんだから。
Are you telling us the truth? Cause I don't know, like, if you have lived so many timelines, maybe you would have picked up on some karate or kung fu or all the martial arts in the world at this point, to the point where you will be able to overthrow Rena. How can we be so sure that you wouldn't be able to just go behind Rena and just snap her neck just like that? I realized that this creepy thing that looks just like Rika was only here to talk to me. I felt my tension fade away a little bit. But I don't know what she wants to talk to me about at a place like this. So late at night. I'm like a fish on a cutting board. There's nothing I can do other than to wait and see what's going to happen. I waited for it to make a move for a while. And then it opened its mouth again.
あなたは何かに怯えている。それは正解。
It uses sarcasm. Rika-chan's cute face looked uglier than ever when it smiled. I held back my fear and tried to reply firmly.
ええ、おかげさまで。
そう。何に怯えているの？
あんたらが一番よくわかっているくせに。
It told me earlier that we were safe from each other because one was in the car and the other was standing outside. But it's obvious that I'm the one who's being driven into a corner. While I'm talking to it, I could be being surrounded by its minions. I got scared and tried to listen to the sounds of my surroundings carefully.
怖がらないで。私はあなたを助けに来たんだから。
助けに？へえ、 ってかな。
あなたはね、ちょっとしたお薬で楽になるのよ。私はその薬を持ってきたと言ったら、関心がある？
薬？
The cure? It put its hand in its pocket and took out a small case. Okay, we're going for that again. It opened the case and showed me what was inside. What was in there made me gasp in surprise.
注射器。
It's not normal for a person to carry out a syringe. I have no idea what's going on, but what Rika-chan is holding in her hand is a syringe. There's no way I can twist that fact now.
そう、あなたを楽にしてくれる注射よ。
楽になれるって私には分かってる。それでしょ？富武さんを殺した薬物の正体は。
Hold on, Rena, hold on. I know that you are in a state of extreme anxiety and all that, and but let's just listen to Rika for a second right over here, and I don't know, maybe trust this person right in front of us. Like, maybe just take the drug and see if it helps you or anything like that. I don't know.
原子の力を持った寄生虫、宇受脇病を再現させる恐ろしい注射。
富武の注射はね。でもこれは違うわよ。
Okay.
本当よ。
It giggled. It isn't the giggling that scares me. I'm scared that it admitted the cause of Tomitake-san's death so easily. Okay, well, I guess this basically confirms that there was a drug. And it also admitted the direct cause of the maggot disease that Tomitake-san died from.
私にもあの死に方をさせるつもりなんでしょ。そしてゴグラに現れたレナが私に入れ替わって一件落着。そういう魂胆なんでしょ。誰がそんな注射をするもんか。
まあ嫌がるとは思った。明らかに怪しいしね。
分かってるじゃないの。ならどうするの？富武さんみたいに集団で襲って無理やり注射でもするの？
Tomitake-san's autopsy report said that he had bruises on his body that proved he was fighting against several people right before he died. That means they must have ganged up on him to give him the shot against his own will.
無理に襲って注射したいけど、あまりうまくいった試しはないわね。
Yeah, I've seen that happen in the last chapter, yes.
だから、無理やりってのはもう諦めてるわ。だから、あなたの自由意志に任せることにする。
ふざけないで！そんな薄気味悪い注射、誰が使うものか！
私もそのあたりは悩んだわ。どうなだめすかせば、あなたに注射できるかをね。強引にも無理だし、理解も得られないし。なら結局、私はあなたの判断に任せるほかないってこと。
Okay.
そんなのは聞くまでもない。誰がそんな見えすいた罠にかかるか。
まあ、想定通りの反応よ。どうせ期待してなかったし。
It heaved a sigh, made a gesture as if it is mocking me, and smiled bitterly. He looked as if it was saying that I'm a lower animal that can't understand its being, given a chance for salvation. He looked as if it was saying that I'm a lower animal that can't understand its being given a chance for salvation. I kinda want to say I'll take the shot at it there, but I know that's exactly what it is intending to do. Man, I kinda want Rena to do it though, like... I really want Rena to take that.
とっとと帰ってお前の仲間に注射には失敗したと伝えるがいい。私は負けない。最後まで徹底的に抗ってやる。そして 1% にも満たないかもしれない勝機を掴んで必ずや貴様らを打ち滅ぼしてやるから。
そう。ならばせいぜい頑張りなさいな。どうせもうすぐ滅ぶ世界だしね。
How? How is the world going to end soon?
滅ぶ？
あなたには関係のないことよ。井戸の中のカエルが井戸の外なんかに興味を持っても仕方ないでしょ。
At this stage of the game, it said something very dubious. I tried hard to understand what this horrifying creature was trying to say.
私をこれからどうするつもりなの？
私はどうもしないわ。好きにすればいい。
It's almost too easy. As far as I know, do whatever you want means ignorance or release when your enemy says it to you. At the very least, it isn't a bad thing. Or does it have another meaning? In that way, I overinterpreted the meaning of this sentence. But then, it said it again.
あなたの好きなように過ごせばいい。このリュウグウレナにはもう興味ない。次のリュウグウレナとうまくやれるようにするわ。
Okay.
せめて次のリュウグウレナは変に勘が良くないことを祈るだけよ。
I was scared of it. Like I'd be scared of a judge handing down a death sentence.
私も昔は小さな狂いが生じるたびに直そうと奔走したものだけど、途中からね、このHinamizawaにもう興味ない。次のHinamizawaを探しに行くことにするわ。でも、あなたにはこのHinamizawaしかない。だから、せいぜい頑張っていきなさいな。
It was telling me scary things one after the other. And this was obviously a warning of Hinamizawa's destruction. It means the climax is coming soon. They have already prepared another arena. When I lose to this fate, they are going to replace me with that arena as if nothing happened. They are very well organized. I seriously don't think that Arena and Ben Castell here are on the same wavelength. I don't know what is going through Rena's mind. Like, I cannot say for sure, but obviously I'm going with this kind of theory that Ariakey is basically going through different timelines and she has seen it all. But obviously, warning of the Hinamizawa, it means the climax is coming soon. When I lose to this fate, they are going to replace me with that arena. Like, what do you mean replacing? Unless it kind of depends on the wording that a timeline will replace the current one. I don't know. What humans are most afraid of is for their lives to lose all value. Your life becomes worthless when you're told that you have a replacement. It's like an indirect death sentence. It closed the syringe case and put it back into its pocket. Can you not leave it with us at least? It turned around and started climbing up the slope. No! Ben Castell, no, why? Leave us the medicine! At the top, it looked back and spoke without as much as an evil smile.
じゃあね、さよなら。このリュウグウレナ。
No, please, just leave it in front of the car. Leave the drug in front of the car, please!
次のリュウグウレナでは仲良くしてね。ほとんどの場合は仲良くできてるんだから。
次の竜宮レナなど許すものか。私は私だ。たった一人だ。お前らの思い通りにはならない。絶対に、絶対に。
I wondered if my scream was reaching it. He looked at me coldly. He looked at me as if I was just an image of the past on a TV screen.
たまにはこういう会話も面白いか。
The laughter gradually disappeared into the darkness. It disappeared into the darkness as well. I was the only one left there. Well, now I'm just dejected. This has not helped me like one bit. She didn't even leave us the syringe like right in front of us, like at all. She just took it and just left. Alright. I'll see you in the next chapter, Ben Costello, I guess. I'm forsaken, and they don't care if I disappear. They told me I should struggle as much as I want, because it doesn't matter anyway. They already have a replacement. They don't need me in their Hinamizawa anymore, because my intuition is too sharp. When I realized that, I noticed that this garbage dump is a perfect grave for me. Then I realized that this place wouldn't work as a hideout anymore. I better start packing and moving somewhere else. It told me to struggle as much as I want. I'm going to do just that, damn it. Damn it! I have to get ready to move out from here. I'm going to put everything back into my backpack. I have to leave here as soon as possible. The light of the flashlight wasn't enough to see by, so I turned the table lamp on. The light made things show up very clearly. When I reached my backpack, I realized something and gasped in surprise. The palm of my hand was covered with an eerie liquid. Huh? I thought I'd wiped off my sticky sweat earlier, but it wasn't my sweat. Then where did this blood come from? I realized it right away. I was scratching the mosquito bites on my neck earlier, and I scratched them until they bled. When I noticed that, I remembered the question, the mixture of pain and itchiness. I felt something moving near the wound on my neck, so I scratched it again to get rid of whatever it was. My hand got sticky and wet with blood again. I can't see what the things are because I don't have a mirror, but I know. They're already spreading throughout my entire body, causing the itchiness on my arms and the back of my knees. If I'd never experienced this before, I'd think I got bitten by a bad bug or something. But unfortunately, I already know what's causing this itchiness.
なんで？どうして？
I said it with hatred. Why no? Why here? It's the mega disease, without a doubt. Ah, damn it. You know, I get the feeling that this could have been prevented if you have taken a shot, Rena. Just saying. I know you wouldn't be able to trust such a person like that, but still, if I cut the veins on my arms, the dusky red gross things would fall out. But it's impossible. I didn't get any suspicious shots. But it doesn't have to be a shot. They might have put a drug in my food, and might have eaten it without noticing. I don't think they put enough food at my house, but I used to share lunch with my friends at school. They might have put it in the lunch. That Rika who visited me just earlier was shining the flashlight on me, so she knew that I was scratching my neck so hard it bled. Nevertheless, she acted like there was nothing wrong, and she told me that I wouldn't last long. Now I know why she was laughing at me in a sarcastic way. She knew that I wouldn't have much time left. It itches very badly, but I can't scratch. The more I scratch, the itchier it gets. I'm not going to do the same thing Tomitake-san did. Damn it. Oh, well, think about it this way, Brenna. If this was gonna happen anyway, why would Ben Costello just come in with the syringe? If she knew that you would be coming in this situation and you were gonna die soon enough because of these maggots. The only thing that I can think of would be that she would bring up like a cure for it. Maybe you can change your mind and go after her and let me take that shot, please, for these maggots that you have. The itchiness might not be temporary. It might actually get worse. I don't know if it's going to stop soon or if it's going to last until I die from it. I don't know anything anymore. I just have to endure the itchiness. I wipe the blood on my neck with a towel, clench my teeth, and try to erase the desire to scratch my neck. The wound was throbbing. I wanted to scratch it so badly, but I couldn't do that. I fought back the desire, biting the end of the towel. I scratched other parts of my body really hard in order to forget about the itchiness on my neck, but it didn't really work. I just prayed for the itchiness to go away, closed my eyes, and fought back the desire. That seemed to be the best way. I let my mind go blank, breathing hard for a while. It felt like the itchiness got a little bit better. I took a deep breath, and I immediately started panicking. Staying here is more dangerous than the itchiness. I have to leave here as soon as possible. I felt it while packing my stuff. I felt the end coming closer. The end that Rika told me about earlier. I assumed I could live until the end, but I might have been wrong. And follow the same path Tomitake-san took, way before the end comes. I was sweating like crazy, and it felt so nasty. I know it's not sweat, but I'm going to think that it's sweat for now. I wet my neck with a towel, and hurried to leave. Oh boy. This area has no streetlights, so I was scared to run fast when I could barely see. The moon lit up the sky, but not my steps. The only light I had to see by was my flashlight. The light was very weak. All I could see was the flat gravel road behind me. All I could see was the flat gravel road before me. Okay, we're back to Keiichi. Anything the flashlight couldn't reach was in total darkness. The expression often used in novels, pitch black, wouldn't be inappropriate. I might trip over an empty can or a rock at any time. Not wanting to fall, I used the flashlight to its maximum extent to watch my step, but I was still a bit nervous. I started running slower and slower until I was just walking briskly. Did I just stop running because I'm afraid of tripping in the dark? But I usually run around without watching my step during the day. I run around with Rena and Mion all the time. Even if I can see what's underfoot, I don't pay any attention. I don't think I might trip. I just keep running around without a care. Rena might be feeling the same way I am right now. For Rena, the light with which she illuminates the darkness of her suspicion is too weak. And the darkness of the delusion she deeply believes in is getting darker and darker. That's why she's scared to even walk on the same roads she always used to take. Man, Keiichi sure is poetic, not gonna lie. She fell for the contents of those ridiculous scrapbooks. People might laugh at her for that, but those scrapbooks aren't normal. They manipulate their readers' hearts and, with evil intent, take advantage of their vulnerabilities. Like a magic spell that maybe we are gonna go that route with witches. That evil intent captured my heart for one night. That's why I know how evil they are. They are just urban legends, like the prophecies of Nostradamus or the Purple Mirror. They are a bunch of feasible lies, and when you hear about them at first, you think they're too stupid to believe. They are a bunch of feasible lies, and when you hear about them at first, you think they're too stupid to believe. But once you fall for them, it's hard to get them out of your mind for some reason. It will be the year 1999 in less than 20 years. Everybody knows about the prophecy that the world will come to an end in July of 1999. There are even some TV shows about it too, which irresponsibly fan people's fears. So some people take it seriously. Those people think that the prophecy means the outbreak of nuclear war. So some of them are making shelters in their backyards. Some of them are thinking about freezing themselves by 1999 so that they won't be exposed to radiation, only waking up after it's gone. Those people are completely serious about it. But when you think about it rationally, it's impossible that there will be an outbreak of nuclear war in 1999. It's true that the Cold War makes us think that the final war will break out any time. But both powers are actually pointing their nuclear missiles at each other, and they know there's nothing to gain for either of them to start a nuclear war. The Soviets might still do it. The Soviets might destroy the world if it meant eradicating liberalism. But that delusion that the Soviets might do it could be neatly swapped for the way Takano-san uses the Sonosaki family in her scrapbooks. When people create a large-scale delusion like the prophecies above, they always use an incomprehensibly unknown enemies such as the Soviet Union, Nazi Germany, or aliens. And they say something like, "You never know, they might do things like that," to try and increase the credibility of their delusions without any evidence whatsoever. What did Takano-san know about the Sonosaki family? Nothing. All she did was use the history of Nikafuchi and say that the Sonosaki family is still working behind the scenes, planning a horrifying conspiracy. It's just like one of those large-scale prophecies. It's nothing but just a stupid story like that one about Nazi Germany, which says that Hitler is still alive and lives in an underground complex somewhere in the North South Pole, continuing his plot to conquer the world. Rena usually doesn't believe in stupid stories like that, but it was just bad timing, I suppose. It was right after she killed Rina, Mamiya, and Teppei Hojo, and was caught by us. She was in a state of panic when she heard the story. We were waiting for her to recover from the shock, but before she did and regained her strength of heart, a poison got into her and spread all throughout her body. When you're sick and have a weakened immune system, it's easy to get another disease. It's just like that. That's it. Rena is just sick right now. When you're very sick, in bed with a high fever, you sometimes feel like you might die from it. But most of the time, you're just overreacting. You get better soon after you take a medicine, eat healthy food, and sleep a lot. That's how she is right now. She caught a mental cold. That's all. She needs to get better soon, or she might get caught by the police. I passed several patrol cars on my way. I hid every time I saw one, since I didn't want to be questioned. I was probably passed by them twice. When I came close to Rena's house, I saw a car parked near the gate. It was obviously watching her house, trying to capture her when she'd arrive home. Mion ordered the Sonosaki family to find Rena to protect her from the police. Well, honestly, I'm not sure if they can. After all, Rena believes that the Sonosaki family is after her. But if they don't find her, the police will eventually. If that happens, all of us who helped her bury the corpses will be caught by the police in the end. I don't know how or why the police came to suspect her. I think they only have some circumstantial evidence. I don't think they know she did it for sure. But since they're looking everywhere for her now, they must have some kind of reliable evidence. Yeah, and it's just the house's money being stolen by Rena, and they're trying to find the thief / Rena. Just money, that's it. Has nothing to do with the corpses. Rena, come on. You don't have the time to play around with Takano-san's scrapbooks right now. The police are after you. It was so dark that I couldn't be sure if she was down there. But I made up my mind and headed down the slope, carefully shining my flashlight to light my way. I wanted to loudly call out Rena's name, but there might be some policemen nearby looking for her. I walked around the trash pile, and then I saw a light. It was Rena. I ran towards her hideout, kicking aside the trash in my way. Rena was standing right in front of her hideout, holding a hatchet. Oh boy. this kind of scenario. Keiichi, just be careful. I couldn't blame her. She must have noticed all the noise I had made coming down the slope.
レナ、俺だ。
今度は圭一くん今夜はいろんな人が来る夜だね。
俺以外にも誰かいるのか？
I shone my flashlight around, but I didn't see anybody else.
この場所はもう安全じゃないんで、今から場所を変えるところなの。圭一くんにも知られたくないから、ついてこないで。
レナ、お前どうしたんだよ、その怪我。血だらけじゃないか。
もう落ち着いたから大丈夫だよ。もっとも、いつぶり返すかわからないけどね。
Rena's neck was all red. It looked like she had some kind of skin disease on her neck. She probably couldn't bear the itchiness and stretched at it really hard.
タオルで拭いただけじゃダメだろ。とりあえず家へ来いよ。ちゃんと消毒した方がいいぞ。
傷口は大したことないよ。それに、これは傷によるものじゃない。もう手遅れだし。
手遅れ？どういうことだよ。
富武さんを死に導いた何かを、私もいつの間にか服毒させられてるみたいなの。注射なんて物騒な方法じゃない。多分それは、弁当のおかずに混ぜられてたの。覚えてる？先日、みーちゃんが卵焼きを一人一個ずつ分けてくれたよね。あの時にやられたんだと思う。
Oh boy.
遅効性なところがうまいよね。くそ！
Rena kicked the dirt with hatred. She was almost literally kicking Mion's goodwill to the curb. Alright, well, let's see how Keiichi is gonna deal with this. Rena has quite the mistrust right now.
おいレナ、お前本気でミオンがそんなことすると思ってるのか？
Rena looked stunned, and she stared straight at me. I noticed a slight accusation in her eyes. I can tell by looking into her eyes that she wants to say, "What are you talking about? I already told you that the Sonozaki family is the mastermind behind the conspiracy."
第一よ、あの日の卵焼き、ミオンは一人に一つずつなんか分けてないだろ。
Mion cut her omelette into 5 pieces, and she told us to take one if we wanted. Rena took the end piece of the omelette before anybody else took one. She said it looked cute and ate it right there.
違うよ。みーちゃんは毒が入ってた卵焼きを私にわざと食べさせようとしたんだよ。
レナ、都合よく記憶を書き換えるなよ。タッパーの蓋の上にこうちょんちょんと5つ並べたんじゃないか。
並べてないよ。一人に一つずつ配った。
そんなこと今までにあったか？俺たちは互いの弁当箱を好きにつっつくバイキング形式だぜ。これは誰の分なんてお上品に分けっこしたことなんて一度もねえじゃねえか。
She looked at me with that accusation in her eyes. To Rena, everything that comes out of my mouth must sound like a lie. To her, it's a fact that she was poisoned. She knows for sure that the drug was in her omelet. That's why she's contradicting me, because I'm saying something different. I didn't come here to make her mad. I realized that disagreeing would only escalate her anger, so I decided not to.
それよりさ、ここはもう安全な場所じゃないってどこへ行くつもりだよ。
さあね、適当に探すよ。
寝るところなんてそうそう見つからねえだろ。俺の家に来いよ。
ありがたいけど辞退するね。園崎家の手先が村中を探し回ってる。圭一くんが裏切って私を売るとは思いたくないけど、かばいきれるとも思えない。
園崎家の手先が探し回ってるってのは逆だぞ。警察がレナを探し回ってるんだ。
なんで？大石さんは味方だし、私のことは放っておくように言ってある。私を探すなんてありえないよ。
多分リナと鉄平を殺したことがどこかで漏れたんじゃないかと思う。
ああ、そういうことか。
I was relieved that we were finally on the same page. But I realized I was wrong right away when she laughed in self-derision.
どうして警察があの殺しのことを感づいたかわかる？
いや、わかるわけないだろう。
Nobody saw her killing them.